everybody, welcome back to my channel. So happy to have you with me today and every day. It's been good. It's good to be back at the moment because there's been so many changes in life happening that are incredibly good, but just keeping me incredibly busy. For one thing, I've had the carpet replaced in my Harry Potter closet, which is what I refer to as my studio because it is literally under our stairs. But I've had the carpet replaced, and of course when they did that, they moved everything around. I don't like it when things in my environment change. I think I've got everything back to normal. I think the lighting and the position of the camera and everything is kind of similar. So hopefully we're all back together and we can be good. But so that's different. And the reason we had the carpet replaced is because, as some of you may have seen, I've done a video on our adoption journey. It's an off-topic Tuesday. It's in the channel. And we had a call from a potential birth mother in late March. It didn't work out, and that's fine because you really want to be finding the best solution and situation for the birth mom, the baby, and of course the adoptive parents, us. So that was just fine, but I mean, okay, not just fine. It was difficult, but you're really trying to do the best thing for all parties involved, and if the best thing isn't matching everybody up, then you move on. So, but it was a real wake-up call for us because we figured probably about the time that we should start doing little things like putting the nursery together. So we've been doing that. We've been moving our house around. We've been replacing carpet. We've been painting. It's been a bit. So I'm very happy to be back doing something like this, which is familiar and you know, relaxing and peaceful and creating. So all good. So thank you for joining me. So today I'd like to thank my patrons because they have given me the idea, kind of inspiration, and helped vote through the idea of doing a little mini series of videos on book versus movie. It's not a new idea, but I did find myself reading a lot of books that had corresponding movies and watching movies that had corresponding books. And so I was just reading a lot of those, and I thought, you know, I'd like to kind of do a series on this, I think. And plus it was just recently Oscar time. And I like to watch the movies that was nominated for Best Picture, even if I don't like them or understand them. I like to watch them. And many of those had, of course, corresponding novels that are doing very well. So just kind of wanted to do a series talking about these things and what I've been doing in the book world, reading and watching and generally trying to distract myself from our crazy life. So first up, I want to talk about a book and movie called The Help by Kathryn Stockett. Now, this book and movie have been around for a minute. I think the book came out in, one moment, and I can look that up, 2009, and I'm pretty sure the movie came out in 2011. So it's been a minute, but I had not gotten around to reading the book that the movie, which I've watched, good grief, half a dozen times, was based on. So I just recently read this and I was so excited, and I just wanted to kind of do a little movie review about, or movie and book review about it. So first up, let's talk about the book because this is a book channel. So let's start there. So the book is, as I said, The Help by Kathryn Stockett. And let's read the inside cover flap real quick, just to get a taste of who these people are and what's going on. It says, 3 ordinary women are about to take one extraordinary step. 22-year-old Skeeter has just returned home after graduating from Ole Miss. She may have a degree, but it is 1962 Mississippi, and her mother will not be happy till Skeeter has a ring on her finger. Skeeter would normally find solace with her beloved maid Constantine, the woman who raised her, but Constantine has disappeared, and no one will tell Skeeter where she has gone. Aibileen is a black maid, a wise, regal woman raising her 17th white child. Something has shifted inside her after the loss of her own son, who died while his bosses looked the other way. She is devoted to the little girl she looks after, though she knows both their hearts may be broken. Minnie, Aibileen's best friend, is short, fat, and perhaps the sassiest woman in Mississippi. She can cook like nobody's business, but she can't mind her tongue, so she's lost yet another job. Minnie finally finds a position working from someone too new to town to know her reputation, but her new boss has secrets of her own. Seemingly as different from one another as can be, these women will nonetheless come together for a clandestine project that will put them all at risk. And why? Because they are suffocating within the lines that define their town and their times. And sometimes lines are meant to be crossed. So that's the cover jacket of The Help by Kathryn Stockett. This book was incredible. If you've not read this book or seen this movie, do both. Do both. Because I really found both of them to be remarkable. The book is rich in detail, it's vibrant, it gives a wonderful history of the times, which are so important for us to remember, especially in the light of things that are happening in our country, the United States, and the world right now. The characters are just so flesh and bone and real that you feel like you know them. It's told from many different perspectives, so you get Skeeter's perspective, you get Abelin's point of view, you get Minnie's point of view, and they all come together so very seamlessly. There's some amazing wisdom in this book. The writing is crisp and vivacious and real and memorable, and it's just, I mean, I think there's a review on the back here. This is, oh yes, one of those magical books that will suck anybody in. Yes, that is precisely what this is. I just gulped it down. I would love to read it again. Can't say enough good things about The Help, the book. So by all means, go out and buy it and read it if you've not already. And if you have read it, then please, just please share your love of this book with me in the comments, because there's nothing I like better than gushing over a good book. So that is Help, the book. Let's talk a minute about Help, the movie, which was written and directed by Tate Taylor in 2011. It starred Jessica Chastain, Viola Davis, Bryce Dallas Howard, Allison Janney, Octavia Spencer, and Emma Stone. That's quite the cast. And I love Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer. I love them so much. They're incredible actresses. I can't say enough good things. And Allison Janney is another one of my favorites. I've loved her since The West Wing. And so and Jessica Chastain, I just have to say briefly, can do no wrong. I just actually watched Molly's Game, also an amazing movie. Anyway, I'm getting way, way sidetracked. Suffice to say, the cast was incredible. The dialogue and the direction and just the filmography of it was really great. I don't even know if that's the right word. The way it was filmed and the way it was shot was really great. And as for similarities and differences between the book and the movie, I was pleasantly surprised that they're very similar. There's some dialogue that's taken from the book that's in the movie, which is lovely. It's always good when that happens, because when you're watching the movie and you remember what was said in the book, and yeah, I remember that. That was on page 157. It was totally there, like yesterday. Or vice versa, if you hear it in the movie and you remember it from the book, or if you hear it from the book and remember it in the movie. It's just a neat little get for people who've done both. And I really love when books lend themselves well to the screen like that. And when the adaptation of a book is so very, very true to the material. So that's just really pleasant to watch and to experience. I found that some of the relationships were a little different, or maybe they weren't really different. They were kind of truncated in ways, which makes sense, because in a movie it's very difficult to show a lot of the passage of time. I did find that the movie did some clever things with that. There were many scenes in which Skeeter and her family and everybody who lives on the farm in Mississippi, where Skeeter's family works, and that's what they do for their living, they all gather in the living room and they're watching different segments on TV. And so those segments, of course, are happening at, progressively future dates and time from when the movie starts. So you kind of get a feeling of time passing with that. So it's just very clever. It was just really well done, because of course the book spans a lot longer. It's I think about 1.5 years or maybe even longer. So you have a lot more time to sit with the characters and the relationships, particularly the characters, Skeeter, who's one of the main ones, the woman, and then her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Stuart. In the movie, it seems like it's kind of they're together for a few weeks, even though you do have these tells explaining that, time is passing. But in the book, you really see there's a lot more of a progression. There's meeting of the parents, there's some politics involved. It just gives it a lot more color and flavor. So that was one of the differences that I found between, and it made it more heartbreaking, because Skeeter is choosing to write a book about the life and times of the maids in Mississippi in 1962, and what it's like to work for a white woman, and what it's like to raise white children who grow up to be the boss. And that's her ambition that she sort of fumbles into because of the issues she's having with no one telling her what happened to her nanny, maid, and best friend, Constantine. So she starts doing that. Well, it causes a schism between her and Stuart. And of course, in the movie, that seems to come, it's not, I feel, quite as heart-wrenching, because in the book you have so much more time and so much investiture into the characters and the relationship. So that was different. The other relationship that's different between book and movie is Cecilia Foote, who is played by Jessica Chastain in the movie, and is one of my favorite characters. She was just so amazing in the movie. But her relationship with Minnie, because she's the woman who ends up hiring Minnie when no one else will, in Jackson, Mississippi. And they have on screen, I mean, it was very satisfying and fulfilling. I didn't feel like anything was left out or missing when I was watching the movie. But then reading the book, there's a lot more mystery that goes on in what is Cecilia Foote's secret. What is she hiding? Why does she have Minnie there? There's a lot more history, of course, and again, background and fleshing it out, and just kind of building on the momentum of the relationship that the characters are creating between them. So that was a pleasure to read in the book. I loved getting more of what I had in the movie and the book. And I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. Really, you just can't. And I have to say that as far as I know, one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Aibileen looks at this woman, Miss Hilly, who's kind of she is one of the antagonists in the movie and then also in the book. And Aibileen looks at Miss Hilly and she says, "Ain't you tired?" And it's just one of the most poignant lines in the world. And that was in the movie, and I don't recall seeing it in the book. So that was a fantastic line that was added in the theatrical version. Now, it may have been in the book in different places, because, of course, the book is told in a bit of a different timeline, and a lot of course, you've got exposition in the characters' heads, which you don't necessarily get in the movie. So it may have been in there, and I just didn't see it. But there was this poignant moment when she says that, and it didn't happen in the book. But what did happen was also completely, it made sense. It was in line with the characters. I can't say enough good things about this book and movie. I just can't. So I would definitely watch the movie another dozen times. I would definitely read the book again. So I have to say, as far as book and movie go, for The Halt by Kathryn Stockett and the movie by Tate Taylor, I mean, all the top hats, really. Just all of them. Just here you go. You can have them, just keep them in your closet and, pet them occasionally and tell them that you like them. It was really, really good. I highly recommend both of these. I'm so grateful to be able to do this and share my love for this book and movie with you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to have other installments of this little series very soon. So until then, for the love of story, have a wonderful day. Bye.